Rafi and Clee. Live stream. Hopefully we don't say
Hola, you amazing artists.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first official live stream of 2020.
Yeah, official live stream 2020. We're starting the year off right.
I see that you guys have already got the party started here.
Yep.
Oh, we're talking about how cold it is places.
Oh, yeah. It's not cold here. It was like 70 degrees outside, and I'm sorry for anybody that thinks that that's wonderful. It probably is.
It was a swampy 70-something degrees. Very swampy.
I hear us saying that, and I think about like the winter time, and I'm like, we shouldn't be complaining.
Cheryl had to wear ski pants and a parka and snow boots and gloves to go to the post office.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to take my hoodie off, and I was complaining about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess we should not complain.
Erica, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Cruz.
We've
Hi,
got-
Lisa.
Hi, Kiaro. Hi, Andy Cat. Hi, Crone Me. So, we shipped out the last of the massive pile of books today.
The books went out today.
As you can see.
Look, it's
They're
empty.
not there.
It's not taking up the studio anymore. The only thing is there's 11 books that I'm going to have to contact those particular 11 people and let them know that their book did not ship. I need to reorder some books because apparently there's something wrong with the glue machine when they glued the books together. So some of the pages were loose, and I was going to do like the artist enhanced special edition book and send them out to people, and apparently I'm not good at gluing books. So
Well, no one expected you to be good at gluing books.
yeah, so I ordered 11 more. I actually ordered a few more for some people that didn't get a chance to get the books, but as soon as they get here, I'll be shipping those 11 out, and whoever the 11 people are, I will let you know that you may have to wait a little bit longer, and I might include something extra special in your book bag.
Maybe so. Hi, Sarah, Erica, Gail, Tim, Juanita, Diana, adventure-seeking artist, James, Heather, and Fight the Good Fight.
Hi, you guys.
What up, my peeps? Finally caught a live stream.
Yes.
Yes, you did. And we're just getting started.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, no one expected you to be an expert at book binding. I mean, come on.
We bought the book binding glue anyway because I was like, I need it. I need it for other stuff too. Because, it's not like I don't have enough room in the studio to just fill it with more things
There's
to
always
create.
room for glue. Veronica, hi from Louisiana. It's 70 degrees and muggy here.
Right? It was 70 degrees and muggy here.
Yeah. I wore the wrong outfit for our travels today. In other news, I made Rafi go all the places today.
Yep.
I had surprise birthday deliveries, which are always fun. Got to see some awesome reactions to some commissioned pieces.
Hey, Derek.
Hi, Derek. I'm back. Amuse in the craft room. Cheers and kisses and scissors.
Yeah. Cheers.
Salute.
Congrats on your show, Clee.
Thank
Talk
you.
about your show and
Yeah.
how exciting that was.
As a lot of you may know, that I had my first group show reception at the Co-op Gallery that I belong to, and the theme was the Roaring 2020s, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was a make it work moment because following New Year's Day, like the holidays ended, and I had 7 days to make this show work.
Yeah. I mean, they know that because you said that in the vlog.
Yeah.
You know, the vlog video.
Yeah, the vlog that went up. So anyway, it did come together, and the reception was a whole lot of fun, and I pulled together a 1920s outfit, and I suffered for my look.
Yep.
As I think was in the vlog video. I wore a flapper headband. And
no, you said that to our Patreon people. You let them know about your forehead.
I wore a beaded flapper headband to the show, and my forehead was not happy about it. It was beaded on both sides, so it was digging into me. I had to take Advil, and now I have like blisters on my forehead.
Hold on a second, because James Barton is like, is the extra gift a golden ticket?
I've got the golden ticket.
I freaking love Willy Wonka.
You are supposed to be an expert.
Sure. Yes, I am an expert.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Donna, Olivia. We have so many of you joining us. That's awesome. The ticker tape is already moving pretty quick,
Yeah.
so if we miss you guys, please feel free to just retype your question. You looked awesome, Cleve. Thank you, Donna.
Hi
Thank you,
from
Joe.
Scotland. Hello. Oh, I want to go to Scotland so bad.
But Rafi haven't watched everything, so it was okay for her to tell us. Lol. Yeah, some of these guys probably haven't seen the vlog video yet.
I know.
Anyway, it was really cool. There was more food than anyone could ever possibly hope to eat because these ladies made all the food. And our very good friends helped me out by making some food that I could bring. And we had wine.
There was a lot of food. And I did have wine. And you guys will actually watch on a video tomorrow how somebody who follows us here on YouTube saw me on the street and they were like, oh my God, are you Rafi? And I apparently had drank a little too much and could not get the words "The Rogue Artist Survival Guide" out of my mouth.
Nope.
So yeah, that'll be on tomorrow's video.
It was very hilarious. I missed it because I was helping clean up inside. But
Starving Artist Collective. Hi, Rafi and Clee. Love your vids. First time in the chat. Welcome.
Hi.
Here in Sydney, Australia. Hi.
finally a bit of rain today to subdue the smoke haze from our brush fire.
Good.
We've been thinking about all our peeps in Australia and hoping
Yep.
that you're all okay. My goodness. We shipped quite a few books to Australia
Yeah.
too, and we've been thinking about you guys.
We've been thinking about you guys, and really, we're following what's going on and praying for rain every single day. So
Dominic said that we popped up on their recommended. What type of artist are you? Rafi's a mixed media artist, I
Yep.
would say. He's a painter, I guess, if you had to pick one
I'm
category.
a painter. I also do sculptures. I like working with whatever materials I could get to create whatever it is that I want to create, basically.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody's like, what kind of artist are you? I'm like, I'm an artist.
I'm predominantly a jewelry artist and a musician, but we also are media artists and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad we popped up on your feed.
Hey, Deanne's here.
Hey,
Hi,
Deanne.
Deanne.
By the way, I'm in the Sierra Mountains, and thanks for all your sharing. Ooh, mountain.
Awesome.
Praying for you guys with the fire.
Yeah.
Starving artists. Yeah. Everybody sent good thoughts to
Yeah.
our peeps in Australia.
Yeah, our peeps in Australia, our thoughts are with you.
Hey, Rafi, we've all been there. I think on your too much wine consumption.
Yeah, that was.
It happened.
And the
Rafi
thing
was-
is, he pulled out a camera. He's like, I want to interview you. And I was like, all right. And so somebody out there has footage of me slurring my words. And then I have footage of me slurring my words. And then there were other people with iPhone cameras filming the whole thing. So
yeah, like 4 people have footage of
I
that.
will live on in the internet, not being able to say the title of my book.
Luckily
forever.
for you, you're a very fun and happy person when you've had a little too much wine. Everyone's been there, right? You were like, I'm just arm candy tonight. I can drink all the wine.
Yep. Leslie Vasquez, where do you store your paintings that don't sell? Do you pay for storage? Do you paint over them? Do you mail them out to galleries, shows, etc.? I store my paintings here. Some paintings, I don't just paint over things because they don't sell. This is the thing. Like, a lot of people are like, well, if something doesn't sell, then it's not meant to sell. And honestly, that's not how it works. If you're not happy with a painting, then yes, paint over it, do something else with it. But if you love a painting, don't paint over it just because it didn't sell. Just because something doesn't sell doesn't mean that it's not good.
Yeah.
It just means that it hasn't met the right person yet. So yeah, I store the majority of my paintings in here. I have paintings that are out in local businesses. I have paintings everywhere, anywhere that I could put them, but mostly just here down my hallway and leaning against walls and everywhere,
In
wherever I
every
could
room.
store them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. You do have a couple of agreements with local businesses. They
Yep.
have like a lot of your artwork.
Yeah, I have about 100 pieces out and around town right now, and then I have about another 100 pieces here taking up room. So it is not a bad thing to have a lot of artwork, because if you have a big show that's coming up, then you already have artwork that you could take into the show.
And I agree with that. If you're not happy with a piece, by all means, rework it. But if you love it, then just wait for the right time. I just recently sold a piece that I'd had for a couple of years, and it finally found its forever home, and I was very happy about it. Hey guys, I was wondering if you consider quilting a form of art. Oh, heck yeah. Quilting is absolutely a form of art. What are we doing? We've got some. Okay. I consider any creative outlet that expresses something about your story, someone's story, a form of art, no matter what you're passionate about: quilting, needle felting, music, painting, jewelry.
Yep, exactly. I mean, anything that you create that you are expressing yourself in any way, shape, or form, I think that's a work of art. I love how there's so many people out there that like to separate. Well, that's art, that's craft.
Right.
That's not, it doesn't work that way with me. That there are blurred lines there that you cross from from one place to another.
There's a really good quote that I shared on our podcast that I would have to paraphrase it, but it basically says that art is something you do, and it's pushing past the resistance and expressing yourself however you do, and I really like it.
Yep. Who's the bookkeeper that keeps track of where your is located?
Where the art is located, I'm guessing?
Me.
Yeah.
I keep track of where my art's located.
Yeah.
What is the smallest size painting you'll do, and what's the largest size? I'll do as big as will fit in a studio. I've done a 15-foot piece, and I have little tiny pieces that I've done for scavenger hunts around town.
Your tiniest pieces are the ones you do for me, so I can
Oh,
turn
yeah.
them into necklaces.
Yeah, she does. I do really, really tiny pieces that Clee turns into jewelry.
They measure like 1.5 inches by 1 inch.
Yep.
Hey, Naomi and Wendy.
Hi.
Quilting is definitely art. Heck yeah, and quilting is like, you got to be really patient to do something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Those kinds of very patient art. So, hey, Rafi, have you ever dreamed the images that you've painted?
Yes. So I get my inspiration from several different places. A lot of you guys know that I get my inspirations from life, conversations that Clee and I have, experiences that I've had, or experiences that I'm about to have, or what I'm thinking, but also a lot of times images in my dreams will inspire different paintings.
I once dreamed a full piece of jewelry and then designed it, and it was really cool. And that happens to me a lot with songs, too.
Yeah.
I'll dream lyrics to songs.
Clee has gotten up in the middle of the night and just written down all the lyrics
Yeah, and
to
you
a
have
song.
to, because if you don't, then it's lost forever. Rafi, no, what do you both do when you're in a creative rut? Something else, like take a walk or work on something that, like shift gears, I guess, essentially. So, like, if I'm stuck with jewelry, then I'll move on to music, or if I'm stuck on a music project, I'll work on jewelry and vice versa. Basically just doing something other than whatever you're stuck on. If you're just totally creatively stuck, then maybe just take a break, do some meditation, take a walk.
Yeah.
Talk
you need to like walk away. Just walk away and clear your mind of what it is that you're trying to pull off there.
Smallest I've painted is portraits, ATC size 2.5 by 3.5 portraits in small size.
Yeah, that's
I can only imagine.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Every
It's
time-
funny because when something is smaller, it's actually a lot more work than when it's larger scale.
Yeah, I think a lot of people realize that, but maybe not everyone realizes that the small scale stuff can be really hard. I had a small scale jewelry piece, really small, that I was working on this week, and it was very tricky to do.
It was beautiful, though.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Handmade by Diana. Do you guys ever get inspired by movies? Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I love movies. I get inspired by movies, by anything media related all the time.
And movie soundtracks. We
Yep.
often have movie soundtracks playing in the studio.
Yeah, today it was Danny Elfman, so there was a lot of like Beetlejuice and things like that playing in the background.
Yeah. Do you keep paintings that you don't like but someone else might like? I would say if you don't like it, then
I get to paint over everything that I create, that I keep here in the studio is something that I like. I mean, I don't generally, if there's something that I create that I don't like, then it gets reworked until I like it. So It just there's nothing that I have that I don't like.
It's a work in progress until you do love it. Sky Balancer, Clee, you are connected to the universe. we all are, but if I can quiet the brain chatter that's sometimes happening, then yes, inspiration does come.
It does.
Hey folks, I want to thank you both for all your videos. I listen to you both all day as I paint. Thank you, Wendy.
Oh,
That's
thank you,
awesome.
Wendy Rose. That's awesome.
Photography is definitely art. Ansel Adams, for example. Oh, I think there's a debate going on. I think perhaps.
Never heard of someone who thinks that ever. Thinks what?
I'm not sure. I think maybe whether photography is art. I think we missed the beginning of that
Is
conversation.
photography art?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
To me, photography is art. And the perfect example is anytime I've asked people to send me pictures of my art in their house and how it looks, it is definitely an art form to send a really good picture.
Yeah.
Even from your iPhone.
Lee Evans, hey guys, hope you're well. Just wondering what to do with my signature on my work. I think it's a bit large. Should I go back over finished glossed work or should I leave and change on new works? I would say leave it.
I mean, I would leave it. I have really large signatures on certain pieces, and then my signature is a little bit smaller on other pieces. But I love the idea of using your signature as a method for people to recognize your paintings. I only had one time where a guy was like, "This painting's ruined because your signature's on it." I was like, "Well, screw you. I don't buy it then.
No
I don't
one's
care."
forcing you.
Yeah.
Cruz said she likes to check out the artwork that's in movies, like the stuff that people have hanging on the wall.
I do that all the time. It's like I can't help but look at the artwork, and sometimes I'm like, really? That's what they got for that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing with jewelry.
What's your take on handicap artists exploiting their own handicap to get views and sales? Barry, honestly, if that's their jam, then that's fine. Because I'm not in that position, I can't really judge anybody there.
I think there's a difference between like sharing your story and who you are and exploiting it.
Yeah, and then trying to get people to feel sorry for you.
I think the intention matters a lot there.
It does. But I mean that the intention always comes. That's why it's important to be authentic, because if you're not real and you're trying to be something else or trying to have like an ulterior motive, it always comes to surface anyway. People aren't stupid.
Yeah.
So if you're using your handicap to try and sell your art out of desperation, then that's kind of bunk. But if it's just part of your story, then I'm totally for it. But again, I wouldn't know. I'm not in that position to be able to judge.
Yeah. Vicky Neville, I had all these resolutions. I'm going through these little rituals to get in creative mode, rearranging entire room, including art supplies. That can be really good.
Yes, it can.
I enjoy that too.
It can. With the studio, in between projects, I always have to put everything right back or organize the studio, or I'll move things around because it helps. I feel like if things are cluttered, then your mind is cluttered and your creativity is cluttered too.
The Artist Haven. Greetings, Rafi and Clee. Howdy, y'all.
Greetings.
From Tish. Hi, Tish. Thanks for joining us. I know you're a busy gal, too. A very busy gal. I think Andy Cat had said that her husband doesn't think photography is art, but she thinks it is. I think that was
I agree with you, Andy Cat.
Yes.
What is your take on poor art? I've been having a difficult time grasping this concept.
Oh.
You know what, Derek? It's a popular thing right now, and a lot of artists are doing it, and a lot of people are getting their gateway into art by doing it. So, I personally don't do poor art, but then again, I would like to maybe experiment with it and see if I could do something unique with it. That's my thing. My favorite poor art, it's stuff that people use that medium, but then do something completely unique with it.
Yeah, like use it as a background and then paint some cool subject matter
I
over
think
it.
I can't judge it overall. It's when I'm looking at artwork, I'm looking at the individual and how the individual is using the materials, not the material itself.
Yeah.
It helps me because if not, I could be really judgmental. So I try not to be.
Hello from Rainbow City, Alabama. We love you here. Thank you, Karen.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
Let's see. Where are we at here?
Okay, the ticker tape moved down.
Yes, it did.
So if we missed your question, just submit it again.
Lee Evans, I've recently been taking up lino printing, but sometimes the prints don't turn out amazing. What do you do with the prints that don't turn out as well as you wanted? You just had a little bit of a thing with that.
So I basically, every time I go to create a print, there's something, because that's the beauty of it. They're not going to be even. They're not going to be perfect. You're not printing them out in a machine. So sometimes I put them to the side if they're like not good enough, and then I'll do something else with them. But for the most part, I send out whatever gets printed up. Like, that's part of the beauty of doing lino prints.
And why they're special and unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose if something's really wrong with one, then you could redo it.
Now, I'm totally anal retentive about it, so I have a hard time sending those out. But I did this last time, like all 3. I was like, okay, I'm just going to send these out. That bird is missing its beak, but I'm going to send it out. Yeah.
I've recently... I just read that one. I kind of think pour art is cheating, but I agree with you guys. Pour, then do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think again, the intention there, like, what are you doing with it, is important. I've seen some really cool pour art, and then some stuff that I'm like, I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
Karen S. Rafi, you inspired me to hit my to-do list hard this year. I started teaching a class after a year of procrastinating this Saturday. Thanks. Oh, awesome. Congratulations, Karen. That's awesome. You'll have to let us know how that goes. Where do you think the line between abstract art and lack of effort and just a mess? You know what, James? It's hard because it's piece by piece. So I think it all comes down to what your motivation is behind creating it. If you are creating a piece of abstract art because of the feeling, because of whatever it means to you, it has to mean something. If you're just creating a piece of abstract art because you think that that's what's popular and you're just going through the motions, then there's no feeling. And really, you could kind of see that when you look. I know some artists who have been doing art for a while that you could tell the difference between their pieces where they're like, I'm just going to throw a bunch of colors together.
Yeah.
And then pieces where like there's feeling and stuff. And that's how I look at it.
I normally paint buildings and landscapes from my hometown. I want to paint some ominous and perhaps really creepy scenes, but I'm afraid I could chase off some of my followers.
No, I think you should do it. Just make it a different series. You know, your followers will be fine with what they're used to and they create. And then some of them might like your new stuff, but then you'll attract some new followers. That's why I always have different series for the different things that I create. I have some ominous and scary things that people think are scary. So I would go with that.
We have Chubby J Draws here.
Hey
Jay, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you for the sketch that you did of us. That was
super
awesome.
Cool.
That was
I loved
really
it.
Cool.
PJ, hi. What's your tips for having yard art? Do you think other artists would like to join me? I have lots of Pensacola space. I am certain that artists would like to join you.
Oh, yeah.
And the tips for having yard and art sale, I think my biggest tip is like section off like the yard sales here and the art is like a separate thing.
Yep.
And make signs and have fun and make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun. Make it a really, really fun thing for people to show up to. Think of it as like a yard party.
Yeah. We had, how do you rework watercolors?
That's a good question. I've never reworked watercolors. The only thing I've ever done with watercolors that turned out like crap was cut them up and make something else out of it. Use it as background texture.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Rafi, have you ever been to the Louvre? Do you like 16th century art? What type of art do you like?
Oh, I like all types of art. And yes, I do like 16th century art.
I know we've never been
to the Louvre. I want, that's on my bucket list of places to go.
Yeah.
Pour art. Do you mean the resin? No, not the resin. Like where it's an acrylic medium that they mix with acrylic and then they pour and then it separates in different layers. That's pour art. No, I've seen like tables and stuff done with the resin. That's really, really cool stuff.
I want to say hi to Ann Austin. She's a fellow local. Also, she said hi earlier. Hi Ann. I do abstract art and need to find a way to get noticed. I'm on Instagram, but so far no one cares beyond a few likes and a few comments.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It takes time.
It was tumbleweeds for us on the internet.
For years.
And we just kept posting and kept going and just had fun. And that's why, like, don't Don't post for the numbers. Post because it's something that you want to remember.
Yeah. It sucks to hear sometimes, but it really is just persistence and consistency.
Yeah, because a lot of times you could get desperate and like pay for ads and all that. I'm not a big fan of that. I think you should just grow it organically, and it takes time to do that.
We have, what's your typical daily schedule? Do you work on your art 8 hours a day? Are you night owls? We are all of the above.
Yeah.
Sometimes we work really super long days in the studio, sometimes shorter. Sometimes we're up super early and up super late.
For the most part, our schedule the last 3 months has been wake up in the morning, drink our coffee, get working on stuff, and then around 9 p.m. Go and relax and eat dinner. It's not a great schedule, but that's what it's been.
It can get cray-cray sometimes.
It can. Ideally, we would like to be done in the studio around 6 or 7, but we spend a lot of time in here.
Yeah,
a lot of time.
We do. Oh, so cool. Thanks for the shout-out, said Anne. You can acrylic over watercolor if it's a complete rework.
Yep.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you could use the watercolor background with your acrylics if you use transparent medium.
Rafi, I've never drawn on a canvas before. I paint. I just go right to painting. I wonder, is drawing beforehand something I should try? I can't draw for crap, so I'm kind of chicken to try.
I mean, you can. I sometimes draw on a canvas, and sometimes I don't. So if you think that it's going to help you, then most definitely try it. The reason that I draw on the canvas is because I do a lot of blending with charcoal. So I'll use charcoal on it, and it'll help me with my blending when I'm painting with acrylic.
How often should you post art on Instagram? 3 times per day or more?
1.
1 time per day, 1 time per week over here, sometimes once a month. Do you?
Okay, yeah, do you? Listen, Instagram is all about consistency. So if you post once every other day, that's fine. If you post once a day, that's fine. Don't go overboard. Like,
once a day is definitely enough.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if people are going to find you, people are going to whatever. If you want to focus that time and you want to do 3 posts per day, then that's cool. But if not, I mean, I try to post something daily, and if there's an extra post, it's because I ran into something or did something that I wanted to share with everybody. And that's why I post. I post because I want to share stuff with people, not because I got to post on social media now. You
can look back and see what you've done.
Yeah, and so like my motivation behind posting is different. Like, I don't care if anybody likes my stuff or not. In fact, I spent years without people liking my stuff, not even my family. So if that can't be your motivation, because sometimes it's going to go down and sometimes it's going to go up. You just have to post the things that you love for the reasons that you want to do them.
And as consistently as you want to.
Yeah.
Naomi and Wendy, my daughter has a 16-year-old still in high school friend who thinks it's romantic to live out of her car and be a writer. Any advice we can give her? That is a big life decision.
Yeah.
Think about it for a while.
I mean, to be fair, we lived out of our car.
We did.
For a couple years. But that was a choice that we made. It wasn't like, I guess she's making the choice too. She doesn't necessarily have to live out of her car, but I mean, really, what's the motivation behind it? I would ask her, like, so do you think that this is what is required in order for you to be able to be a writer?
Or is it maybe that she wants like her own haven, and that's the option that she has available?
Yeah, because it's either that or you just get a really tiny apartment.
Yeah.
You could do that too.
Or a nook in a library or a nook in a coffee shop.
Yeah. I would, my advice would be, if that's the choice that you're going to make, understand that you could change your mind at any time and it doesn't make you a failure. Yeah. Because that was the option that I had to give myself when we decided to hit the road, was like, if I choose to stop, that's okay too.
Yeah, and our main motivation was to put ourselves in a position where we had to really try.
Yeah, where we basically burned my bridges so that I had to keep moving forward and not rely on the excuses that I had used in my life previous to then.
I use math and science as one of the main inspirations for my art. I think it's interesting.
That is awesome. I love that.
Math plays a huge role in what I do for sure, and I find it fascinating also. Do you you use medium with your acrylics, or do you just use water? What would you recommend to make it where the paint is smoother to work with?
You know what? I use all kinds of stuff with my acrylics. I use different acrylic mediums. I use blending mediums that go in there. I use other mediums. So I also use water. So I would play around with that. There's transparent acrylic. There's like self-leveling gels and different things like that you can mix with it. Experiment. Play around. Basically find out what works for you. My brush technique might be different than yours. So like certain mediums might work better for me. I'm really good at painting with enamel house paint, which a lot of artists are not, because it's different to acrylic and it's different to oil. So play around with the mediums and mix them and see what you come up with.
MJ Pete said, "Hey, thanks for the fine time. You guys are always a joy to spend time with."
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
How do you price your paintings? Is selling the originals good, or push prints at a cheaper price? This is such a huge topic, and we do have some videos on pricing your work.
We do.
You have to be at a place that you're comfortable with your originals.
Yeah, with your originals. Just make sure that if you do prints, you're giving people a good deal. Now, I do artist enhanced prints, so like they're still a really good price comparatively speaking to the originals. But you know, you got to be fair to yourself, and you got to be fair to the person that's buying it, whether it is a print or whatever. As far as like pushing off prints because they're cheaper and you think that they're going to sell better, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, basically just be fair to yourself no matter what you're selling, and be fair to the person that's buying something for you.
And that's so subjective, and you really have to like just figure out what's comfortable for you.
Robert,
thanks, Rafi, for answering my question.
You're welcome, Robert.
Lear, I use Instagram stories to engage with people instead of my feed. That way I can save things I like to highlight.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Lear. Are you drinking your special juice? Yes. Yes, we are.
Salute.
I'm late, but I made it. Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. There's a couple of really good YouTube vids that tell the hard parts of van life by 18-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nowadays on YouTube, a lot of people are living a bohemian lifestyle, and it is on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't remember any names, but I know that there's a few. There's a girl that lives in her car, and she's a writer as well. Barry.
Oh, yay, you got it. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you both for everything you do for artists and our lives in general. Keep it up. I watch you guys when I feel down. By the way, your book is awesome.
Oh, thank you, Barry.
Thank you so much, Barry.
And thank you for that, Barry, because I'm really nervous. Like I said, the books went out today, and I'm quite nervous about that.
You get an extra jingle from me.
Yes, you do.
Let's see. I'm planning a YouTube channel, Vicky. We can't wait for your YouTube channel.
Sweet. Can't wait.
Hey, Rafi and Klee, I finally get to see y'all live. Your YouTube videos are very helpful. I appreciate you guys doing those. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. So with YouTube, we actually bought a new camera.
Yeah.
So that we can, because you guys have probably heard me talking about the sound quality and different things like that. Well, I have not figured out the new camera. So tomorrow's YouTube video actually sounds horrible. It doesn't sound as great as I wanted it to sound, but it was.
We had some tweaking to do.
They're still tweaking, so we're figuring things out.
I don't know if it sounds like crap.
It sounds like crap to me. I apologize for that, you guys.
Klee, loved the video about your artist co-op show. Your experience was so close to mine. It took me back. My co-op decided to close 2 years ago, and have not found another since. Still looking, though. That can be tough when a gallery that you love closes. Ours moved, our original, and it was tough and sad.
Yeah, we were in a commercial gallery that was right in the downtown area, and I loved it, and then they moved
to a remote area. And we're still family with them, but it's different.
Yeah.
It can be tricky. You'll find your sweet spot. You'll find your family. Or you'll do something entirely different.
Yep. And Austin, you guys are such an inspiration. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
You're an inspiration.
James, any suggestions for a good acrylic paint for a beginner?
You know what? I use what do I use?
I don't know.
So many acrylic paints.
So many paints.
I just buy so many different paints, but
he tries all the things, yeah.
Liquitex is good. Also, Utrecht. Utrecht was bought out by Blick, and so you could go to the Blick website and find them. They've got a good price, and they're pretty good. They're heavy-bodied, are really nice, and so are the other ones.
Liquitex is like your bulk, like, but you buy it in bulk stuff, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
You don't buy it in bulk. You could, but you can. Even, you know what though? Even like the basic paints, what I would, because I use like the craft acrylic paints for certain things where I need something where the pigments are a little bit more watered down, and then I use the heavy bodied ones. So it's just a matter of buying different mediums, not different mediums, but different acrylic brands, and finding out what really works for you. The only one that I really don't like is the stuff that they sell at Walmart.
No bueno.
No, I wouldn't. Not even their canvas. The canvas at Walmart is really bad. It really sucks.
Ruthie Z, I'm painting live for the first time ever this weekend. Any advice or tips? I'm excited and freaked out. I volunteered for this. I blame you two for giving me this confidence. Well,
awesome, Ruthie.
Congratulations.
Okay, so what I usually do is I'll plan out what I'm going to work on and maybe get started on it slightly, so that while I'm at the event, I could paint and also take time to walk away from the canvas, and, you know, people ask me questions and stuff. And do not concern yourself with getting the painting finished at the event. That's the biggest thing. Like, remember, you're doing a live painting. Just enjoy yourself. Get whatever you get done. People are going to be fascinated by you painting no matter what.
Definitely. Yeah, oftentimes you'll lay out the base layers.
Yeah, just I get it started a little bit, and then I continue working on it while I'm there.
I know the co-op you're in, Clean. It's hard to get into. They have a lot of artists at the co-op I belong to, and some of the waiting lists for certain mediums are big waiting lists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anna says, "Hi guys, just wanted to say hi from Costa Rica." Hi.
I never miss anything you do. I'm glad you could join us for the first live stream of 2020.
2020.
I've been painting for about 2 years and have about 100 paintings so far. I've sold 7 paintings so far, mostly because of your inspiration and telling us to just put your work out there.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
I'm so thirsty. I don't want to miss anything of this live chat, though. So I will just sit here and dehydrate.
Oh, no.
Get yourself something to drink.
Yeah, drink something. We'll be here when you get back.
Yeah.
All I could think of when you said 2020 was 2020, no pants.
I know. I don't even know.
I'm wearing pants. I am wearing pants, you guys. I'm sorry.
We're wearing pants. It's true. That was our very first video that went live for 2020. It was no pants.
Watercolor paper at Walmart is awesome and cheap. All right, Claudine, I'll have to take a look at the watercolor. I was just looking at the canvases.
James said he was looking for an acrylic paint that was very opaque.
Opaque.
Yeah, for beginners. I think was the same train of thought there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So opaque. Why can't I think of what opaque is? What is opaque?
The opposite of transparent.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. And in the meantime,
Okay.
Okay.
So, James, Utrecht, go to Utrecht, and then you're going to see the little things on the side. So different mediums, different heavy-bodied or like light-bodied or light, they have the different opaqueness. So that's what you're going to want to look at. And then with certain paints that that are very transparent, you may want to mix them with a color that's not as transparent, like a white or something like that, to mix it. A lot of times what I do is I buy the extra pigments
and mix those in there.
Hold on, I'm coming.
They're making you run.
Sorry, guys. I want to get this. Okay, so I'll buy like the Gamblin, like the burnt sienna. This is the stuff that you mix into like the oil colors when you're making your own oil colors. And sometimes I'll use these in the acrylics. And essentially what you want to do is crush it into the medium, and then you'll get a more consistent color.
Tracy, I'm doing a cross-country art festival road trip this summer. Yes!
Yes!
Did you have to apply a while before the shows, or were there some you could just show up? I'm hesitant to form a structured journey. So things like Saturday markets and things like that, sometimes you can just kind of roll up and see if they have availability. And we did a few shows like down in the Keys and such.
Yeah.
That it was pretty impromptu. But some definitely require you to sign up well in advance.
What you're going to want to do is maybe call the art association or whoever it is that's in whatever town you're planning on going to and see if you can contact them ahead of time and ask them, because every place is different. So we just kind of went by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Esther. Hi, Esther.
Hi, Esther.
Rafi, what do you say to viewers when you're live painting?
I'll just ask them. Actually, honestly, a lot of times I'm like, so you like what you see? I just mess with people.
Oftentimes I talk to people while Rafi's painting
Yeah.
because he is busy painting.
Yeah.
And oftentimes he'll wait for them to ask a question, or he'll just say hi, and then he'll let them do whatever,
Yeah.
say whatever.
Now, when I'm painting on stage, I'll get like the crowd riled, and I'll be like, all right, get an iPhone picture with me.
Yeah.
You know, like all that kind
They
of
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Tater Flaps, use Bear house paint. Yeah, Bear is
Yep.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, Bear house paint is you know what? It's enamel paint. It's house paint. But if you use the indoor low VOC, some of them, most of the colors are they won't bleed through. But enamel is different than acrylic. The way that it dries very, very quickly. So
You have to
that's something you got to get used to.
Hi, Susan. Hi from Nebraska.
Hi,
Love you
Susan.
guys. Whoa, the ticker tape moved fast there.
Liquitex has a decent viscosity and is opaque. Yeah, Jennifer. It does. I would agree.
I saw someone said, and I love the music in your videos. Is it original music? Some of it's me, and some of it is royalty-free music.
Yeah, most of it is Klee though. Like on the main YouTube channel, the vlog videos, I do use some royalty-free until Klee comes up with.
Yeah,
some
little
more
by
stuff.
little, I'm trying to do some music for the backgrounds and such. Awesome to see you two. You're so great. Thank you, Journey.
Aw,
with Nicole.
thank you.
Hello from Canada. Again, I missed out on ordering your book. Oh no, the ticker tape moved. Can't wait for the original release though. Is there a date?
There will be a date soon. I will definitely announce it to you guys. So we have stuff going on with the book, and I'll have maybe about 11 more orders, which is not fair because there's way more than 11 people that want the book. But I'm gonna try to release it in like mid-February. Just do the official release, and we'll definitely let you guys know exactly when that's gonna happen.
I must thank you again for the empowerment. I haven't got a big following, but this week I took the risk to auction a painting for charity in Australia. So many people helped, and we raised 140.
Oh, that's
That
awesome,
is
Sarah.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Hi, my
Mark's-
Mark.
Hi, my Mark Studio.
Vicky, I'm
back.
Did,
All right.
did I wish you a Merry 20th day of Christmas? Merry 20th day
Merry
of Christmas.
20th day of Christmas, Vicky.
Same to you, Vicky, and I hope now you're hydrated.
Yes.
This water is so good. Water is so good when you're dehydrated. Would you put your art into a gallery if they required you to put in a small number of hours per month of FaceTime at the gallery?
Okay, so
Doing it currently.
me, no. Klee, yes.
Yes, and only yes, because I really am enjoying the experience. Everyone's wonderful there. No, if it was a total bummer and a drag.
Yeah. Me, no, because I just don't have time. I don't have. I do not have 3 hours or 4 hours a week to go sit in a gallery. It just is not going to work.
You
for
really
me.
don't. I've tried to make it work. It is tricky to make it work, but if it's worth it, you'll know.
And I mean, and that's the thing, like, you know, when you're first starting your career, that's a good opportunity for you, but it's just a stepping stone. And I think like anything, that's why I'll never say like, don't do this or don't do that, because honestly, I don't know what's in your area and I don't know what opportunities are available for you or where you're at
Yeah.
as far as your fears. So like going out and doing that, it may be worth it to you because you'll be able to meet more artists and be aware of more things that are going on in your town.
I took a chance on it even though we are really busy, and so far it's been a good experience. Hi from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Love
Hi.
you too. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Hi guys, just wanted to say thank you for your videos. Working on my own business. Didn't have much luck on Etsy, so migrated to my own website. Been a bit discouraged, but your videos help a lot.
Yeah, Abby, you know what? It could be discouraging. There are so many times, even now, we've been doing this for almost a decade or about a decade now.
Yeah.
And there are days, there are weeks, there are months where it could seem discouraging. The key there is to just keep going. Just keep going, because right around the corner, there's always something awesome there. You just got to make it through the discouraging moments.
You have to push through the suck.
Yeah, push through the suck.
That's the biggest secret. Hey, Rafi and Clee, how's the art co-op going? Any tips from either of you for finding fellow artists in the area? I'm from the Midwest, and so far I've struggled with finding other artists in my area. The markets and shows and pop-ups and places where artists gather is the place to be.
Yeah.
We did it all when we first moved here.
When we first started, we did every show that we heard of, everything, every weekend. It got to the point that in year 2, we were doing about 3 shows every weekend.
And we were doing divide and conquer, so we could be at multiple shows at once.
So our first 3 years, we did an average, we did over 1,000 shows in our first 3 years. So we got to know a lot of what was going on in town.
Yeah, and all the wonderful humans we've met have been through art events and such.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm considering it. It's 15 hours per month. That's about the same as what I'm doing, I think.
Yeah.
Second show this weekend. You two have guided me so much to success. Can you talk about how to price art in an outdoor show? Price tags or gallery cards? I just go straight up cardstock price tags.
Clee goes price tags. I actually don't price my pieces because I'm lazy. I've tried pricing my pieces, and I even created like standard cards that says like Rafi's art, and then has like a standard price like $275 or $150 or $75. And then what I would do is laminate those and put blue tape and just stuck them directly on the paintings. I am very lazy when it comes to pricing my stuff at shows because it's so much work.
Yeah, so I put a little info and the price on a piece of cardstock with the understanding that that's going to get ruined after a few outdoor shows.
Yeah,
so
no, that's why I would laminate my. I
Yeah.
just had like standard, like covered all the prices that I thought it would be, and then blue tape doesn't stick to it sticks to the painting, but it doesn't ruin the painting. And by blue tape, I mean that blue painter's tape stuff. That's what I would use. So that was the easiest way for me to do it without having to put the information. So people would see the price, and then if they had other questions, I would tell them the name of the piece and all that other stuff.
Vicky, I need a YouTube camera on a budget. Which one, what kind of camera, and how do I hook it up to a computer thingy?
So, Vicky, I am going to do a video about YouTube videos and how to get started and how you could get started with your iPhone camera and like what it sounds like and all that different stuff with the stuff that I have. Like I said, I just recently bought the camera. We bought the camera.
We upgraded the camera.
And I don't know how to do the sound. So you'll hear that in the video tomorrow. Like the sound doesn't. So before I talk about it to you guys, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And you can even talk about the starter camera that we had. And but yeah, so that will be coming. Thumbs up for this great live stream. Thanks, Louise.
Awesome.
Question, do you find yourself thinking outside of your own box often, or do you always stick with the tried and true? Tish, I force
Never.
myself out of my box because I can easily just do the same stuff that's easy for me, but then I get bored, so I make myself think outside of my own box.
Yeah, and I can't.
Rafi can't even do that.
I can't. I get bored. If there's any kind of routine whatsoever going on, even if it's something that works, I know that that's going to come to an end. And if I'm not pushing the next level, I'm going to end up crashing and burning. So there's this analytic that came out maybe about 4 years ago where they were talking about like MySpace and stuff, and Google had come out with this. And basically what happens is you climb up, and then when you're climbing up and you're doing really, really well, what ends up happening is you plateau, and that's where you kind of coast. And after the coast, unless you do something new and start going back up, you are going to go back down. And that is proven. So like anytime you get used to something and it's really working, already put yourself in a place where you're thinking about what the next new thing is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone had said, what's an acceptable price to pay to get into a show? And it depends on the show. There are shows that are very lucrative that are several $1,000s to get into.
Yeah.
And there are shows that are $50
Yeah.
and $20.
So a lot of the local shows, like when they're like local, like little shows, some of them will try to charge like $300 per show. I would say that the highest I would go for a show
For a local show?
for a local show, and that depends on how much traffic that show has historically gotten, would be $150 for a booth
That's
space.
exactly what I was going to say. And for a national show, some of the really big ones can be expensive.
They could be expensive, but I mean, you need to look at reviews and make sure that they're artist reviews that are not on the actual website for the show. I forget, there are several sites online where like artists will talk about their experience at the show. And that's what I usually look at before I look at the pricing of the show.
Rose, if creating is your outlet, how does it stay your outlet when being criticized?
Rose, I've been criticized so much that I have realized that when somebody else is criticizing your work, it really has nothing to do with you or your work.
It just doesn't resonate with them.
It doesn't resonate with them. They don't like it. And chances are that that person has some crappy work in their house that doesn't look anything like you, and you don't like the work that they like. And that's it. It doesn't mean that their work is bad or wrong. It just means that you guys have a difference of opinion.
Rafi, I live in a cornfield in Nebraska now, but we'll be moving to Panama City. When it comes to my art, what's the first thing I should do to get started? Do art walks. And
do art walks. And as far as pricing for art walks, like for the most part, like to do an art walk, the highest that I've paid is $50, $10,
And mostly they're
$20. Yeah. So even like the Palafox Market, I think it's like $20 a week to do. So that's for like the small, tiny, like little like art walks and things like that. You're, about $20 makes sense to me.
Journey with Nicole said, how can I give you a small thank you donation? I don't see a PayPal link. I don't know how the super chat works, to be honest. Thank you for your appreciation,
Thank you.
I don't know how the super chat works, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't know how the super chat works, but thank you. I mean, you don't have to, and I do really appreciate that, you guys.
Yeah.
It does mean a lot to me.
You joining us here and commenting and engaging with us in this way is very, very appreciated.
Yeah.
We love you guys so much. I have the same concern question. Oh, we missed whatever the question was, Deanne.
Is it this one here?
I don't know. My Mark Studio.
Oh, My Mark Studio?
Mm-hmm. I think we missed. Been thinking about making a website. How do you know you're ready for one and the pros outweigh the cons?
Oh, that is a big question.
Yeah, so this year, like, Etsy sort of like gave us that final nudge because we were already thinking about it.
Yeah.
But man.
As far as having like online presence, think of a website, even if you don't have a store on there, think of it as a business card, as like an online business card where you could tell people to go to, and then that website gravitates to everything else that you have on the web. So if you have an Etsy store, it goes to the Etsy store. It basically lets people know where they could find you everywhere, whether it's social media or whatever. Now, if you're doing an e-commerce store, because we've had a website forever,
and it was almost free.
Yeah, and
no, it wasn't almost free.
No,
I mean, it
wasn't almost free. She doesn't know what
it was
she's
a lot
talking
less
about.
than an e-commerce website.
Yeah, it was a lot less than an e-commerce website because I went through WordPress, so I think we were paying like $40 a year. So we went through like actual like the WordPress.com site, and it was a blog site, which gave me a lot of opportunities to be able to like have blogs and different things like that. Now we have the same site through WordPress, but we pay more. We pay for a business site. Mm-hmm. So
it's never a bad idea to have a website, even if you don't do the e-commerce thing.
Yeah.
Because platforms come and go. Social media platforms, e-commerce platforms.
Yep.
If you can always be getting people to your website, even if it takes you a long time to build up a following, it's better because you're in your own hands.
That way people know where to find you, and then you have consistency across the board. Like if you do labels at a business, you could have your website on there. If you have business cards, you could have your website on there. And that way people will always know where they could really find you if they can't find you somewhere else.
Yeah. Have you done the golf cart the Gulf Coast Art Show. We have not. And
No.
the main reason is because they won't let us set up together 2 different mediums.
Yeah.
Less fun for us.
Yeah.
We've gone as patrons, and it's lovely.
It's a lovely show. It's a lovely show. I don't know. You know, it's funny because there are some shows that I've been really excited to do, and then there are some shows that I'm like, meh, you know. So I think mostly because we couldn't set up together, and that was the whole fun for me.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the trickiness with us is that the big shows want 1 medium per booth,
And we've even said like we'll pay for 2 spots, we'll whatever, and
but you still can't
yeah.
double occupy. Yeah. It is it's the biggest show that happens in Pensacola for art, for sure. Awesome, Ruffy, thank you. Please, how can I fix a pre-made stretched canvas when one of the bars warped? I have tried hammer.
Okay, so a hammer's not going to work. What you're going to want to do is probably get it wet, and you're going to want to use a heat gun or something. So just look at see if there's a video on YouTube that talks about how they warp wood, how they shape wood, and use the same technique to warp your canvas back.
And if all else fails, Vicky says you can carefully remove it and put it on new stretcher bars, the canvas.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely remove it. If you're going to do like some major work to it, I would definitely remove it from the canvas first to do the work to it. Yeah.
Lena, I did a show this past weekend where this old lady announced loudly in front of my booth, looking at my jewelry sets, how she hated skull jewelry as if I wasn't there. Should I have reacted? I didn't.
I probably would have had fun with that.
I have to take a pause because I know the feeling.
Yeah, I would have had fun with that. I probably would have just turned to her and been like, skull. And then just disappeared off behind my table.
You know, sometimes people say stuff and all I can do is like,
yeah.
And then the moments pass.
Because there's the thought, there's like humans.
Yeah.
You know, humans. Why would you say that? What is, but I think it's almost like they don't know what they're saying sometimes. They're just saying whatever comes to mind and they're not even thinking about it. So I would just have fun with it. People say some stupid stuff about my paintings anytime that I've been at a show. There's always the random person, and I usually have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it's fun when you can be quick-witted with someone. And sometimes I'm just like, moving on.
Somebody was walking past her like, I don't get this guy. And I walked up, I don't get this guy. Like, what? There must be something really wrong with this guy. And I walked up behind him. I was like, right? I'm thinking the same thing. Look at that piece. Oh my God, what is wrong with the artist? It's fun for me. I like it.
True. Yeah. Hey guys, joining late. Congrats, Clee. Your show was awesome. Give yourself a pat on the back. Y'all did an incredible job. Thank you, Carl.
Aww.
I am going to pat myself on the back. Thank you for attending my show. I love skull jewelry. I have a pretty large collection of skull rings and jewelry.
I love skull jewelry too.
Yeah.
Skull.
Yeah. And you like to say skull.
Skull. Yeah.
Clee sidestepper approach. Sometimes people at shows and markets leave me dumbfounded, and I do want to be like,
Journey with Nicole. I love your spirits. Thank you so much. Aw, thank you.
I had a lady outside of my flea market booth look at my dream catchers I make and say, "Who's got time to make these?" I was like,
that's where you're like, right? Oh,
I'm like, I do, and if you don't, then money will do.
Yep.
To own one. I just bought a skull necklace the other day.
Pre-programming from preschool and funky parents. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Haters
gonna hate.
hate.
Ignore them if they hate your work. Yep.
Ooh, a good one. Oh, wait. I once had someone mock a painting I'd done. I sold it the same week. So those that mock, you just remember it's not you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
them.
It's not you, it's them. And it just means that they're not the person that painting is meant for. So don't take it personally. That's the most important thing. Let people say whatever it is that they're going to say. Don't take it personally. You know how you feel about your work, and don't allow anybody else to take that away from you.
did a craft fair a couple months ago. Had a lady set her purse down right in the middle of a painting to pay the booth next to me. Took everything in me to keep my cool. I'm not sure that I would have in that case. I would have been like, excuse me, would you like to buy this painting also?
Excuse me,
because
ma'am.
you're about to ruin
You're going to
it?
have to buy this painting that you just set your purse on.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would do.
James Barton. Skull.
Skull.
Yeah.
I love to say skull.
I've actually have a giant warped painting over the doorway in the kitchen. It's covered in cooking grease now, so I ain't gonna worry. Yeah.
True story. Hey, thanks, guys. I was going to have fun, but I just let it go. And sometimes that's the best thing to do.
Yeah. Sometimes Clee, for a lot of it, like Clee will just let it go. I have this insatiable need to just have fun with people, but there have been times where somebody said something that just left me like caught me off guard. I was like, did that really just happen?
Yeah.
Like, did I imagine this? And then by then they're gone. And I'm like, ooh, I should have done this, or I should have said this. Yeah.
Then you wait to see if they come back walking the other direction.
Then you just wait. You just wait and you stare at them.
I have a quip for you. Last week a gal said, way to stick with a theme. I told her I only know how to do sunsets. I've been painting 3 months.
Somebody said, way to stick with the theme.
Maybe she meant it as a compliment.
Way to stick with the theme.
What kind of comment is that?
Yeah, way to stick with the theme. What if somebody came into my booth and said, way to stick with the theme?
And I'd be like, what?
I'd be like, way to stick with an obnoxious comment.
It was a tiki show. I sold several sets.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, people will say things. I've had people come into my booth and like point and laugh because there's somebody who's like, yeah, boobs, like half naked, and they're like, ooh, and I'm like, what are you're like 40. What is wrong with you? You know? So,
I had a lady run her nail down my painting, I guess to see if the paint flaked. I don't know. I thought my husband was going to come unglued.
What?
I don't know.
It's like what is wrong with this person?
I don't even know. That would be.
I'd be like, are you okay? Does this happen to you typically when you see really good art?
You're not hallucinating. That does exist. I kind of froze. I have a horrible temper, so I was trying to call her and tell her to remove her bag while talking to a potential customer. All the while, my blood was boiling. Abby,
oh, I'm sorry,
I commend
Abby.
you
Yes.
for not freaking out.
Good job.
Yeah,
good job.
Because, dude,
Abby was the blue flame.
she was the blue flame.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, I love tikis. I had a cool one from Hawaii that was my dad's when he was surfing. I wore it one full summer. Tikis are awesome.
Yeah.
No, she was rude, but came home and painted all new stuff. Just say word. I love doing sunsets. Sunsets are beautiful.
Yeah, I love doing sunsets too. And in fact, a lot of my abstracts are like abstract versions of sunsets.
Yeah.
They just mean so much. Like everybody is going to pause and look at a sunset when it's there. Even if you're driving and you're preoccupied and you happen to see the sunset, you're going to stop and admire it.
Sunsets put things into perspective for me. And we have reached 8 p.m.
This weekend,
Central
I will be building walls. Ah ha ha.
for the Mount Dora.
Where'd
The
you
ticker
go?
tape
Oh, there.
moved.
Mount Dora Art Show. Thanks for the tutorial.
Would you do them any differently since the last video?
No, actually, I would not. The walls that I have are still the same walls that I
they're
use
pretty
and that I've
solid.
used for the last 8 years. The only thing I would say is make sure that those corners, if you're going to put the braces on there, put them on both sides because you don't want the wood to wiggle around.
Yeah. Oh my God, people can be so rude. Rafi, do the impression of your dad that begins with
Probably.
Probably that guy.
Probably that guy. He came in and he put his purse on your painting.
Probably your neighbor hired that lady.
Yeah.
She put her purse on the painting. Yep.
Yeah.
What's with this Rafi guy? But I like his art. Aw.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thanks, Matthew. Hi, Rafi and Clee. Oh, I know I lost it. Hearing all of these stories makes me nervous about my first market.
Oh, no, you got this. You got this, Magnet Maiden. You're going to do awesome. You're going to do awesome.
Believe me, the positive always outweighs
the
negative.
It's an experience. You got to remember, like, even these stories, like, they're fun stories to talk about hindsight because you experienced it and you're still there and you're doing your thing. Whereas if like you didn't do it or you just kind of like fell apart because that one thing happened, which is not what's going to happen, it's not as exciting. So us artists have these stories. The ones that have been putting themselves out there have these ridiculous stories of some silly things that have gone on because they do. It's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
are we done?
We're at time, yeah.
Oh, we're at time. Aw.
Thanks for the fun chat and laughs. Feels so great talking with my art gurus. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. Of course, I'm ending this video feeling like I'm like, man, I was kind of boring, wasn't I? I was kind of boring. I didn't say much. What is going on? See, this is why whenever you have any kind of insecurity pop up, just remember that your brain is going to say some stupid crap and you have to just work through it and keep going and keep doing your thing.
Yes, absolutely. Apparently, you think you're a boring human, which I think is hilarious. Hilarious.
Buenos noches, Blue Water Pines. Oh, awesome, you guys. You guys were so awesome. I really, really enjoyed this live stream with you guys. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy them all, but this was especially fun. I love talking about your market experiences.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
That we could fill a whole day with market experiences.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
You guys really are the best, and we love you so very much.
Yeah, we adore you guys. I am not going to show you the screen.
The announcement screen.
That has the announcements because I didn't update it.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Probably.
But this is where you can find us. This is our shameless self-promotion. Yeah. And that's it. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You have no idea how much this means to me and how much I really, really enjoy being able to hang out with you guys. I kind of wish we were all sitting around a big giant bonfire just having a good time.
It kind of is like that.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's not like that.
It's like that, but it's not like that.
That's another Rafi's dad bits of wisdom.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's not like that. Yeah. Whenever I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's like that, but it's not like that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you just so...
If you want to end a conversation,
yep.
You can use that one.
Yeah, but thanks so much, you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I totally adore you. And that's it. Now I got to look for the... Why can I never remember...
I don't know.
Where the end scream button is.
The end scream?
End scream. It's the... Ah! Yeah. Awesome, you guys. Adios.
Goodbye.